Things arise because of cause, not by chance nor random laws. This truth, dependent origination, explains the roots of all creation. From one comes two, from two comes more, and karma opens every door. The wheel turns on, the cycle spins, and suffering hides where grasp begins. Avidya, ignorance, the seed. It drives the mind, it plants the need. It leads us through the storm and flame, and builds the self, the mask, the name. Impermanence, anicca, flows, and dukkha, pain, forever grows. Anatta, no self to hold, yet still we cling, though truth is told. Greed and anger, blind desire, fan the flames of inner fire. We chase illusions loud and long, and wonder why things feel so wrong. But vipassana, insight deep, can wake the mind from restless sleep, to see things change, to see things fade, to know the truth that's not man-made. The worldly ways so full of tricks, of games and masks, of clever mix, but wisdom cuts through every lie and lifts the heart to touch the sky. The path beyond Lokuttara Dhamma is not of gold, nor fame, nor drama. It's peace that comes when clinging ends, when mind no longer breaks or bends. So train the mind and let it see the truth that sets all beings free. Bow to the law, the three marks shine, and let your heart in stillness align. When wisdom blooms, delusion dies, and joy appears without disguise. The greatest gift, the final gain, is freedom from all grasp and pain.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're taking on something really quite profound, but it's delivered in this, well, surprisingly beautiful way. We're not digging through dense academic texts this time.
No, something different.
Our source is actually from Rula Jankaroen's YouTube channel. It's this amazing piece called The Law of Cause and Flow, a poetic teaching.
A poetic teaching, yeah. That's interesting in itself.
It really is. And it's pretty amazing, isn't it, how a poem can hold these huge keys.
To really deep concepts.
Exactly, like universal causality, the whole nature of suffering.
And even, a way out, a path to liberation.
Right, right. So that's our mission today, to unpack these verses.
See how they map onto these big spiritual ideas.
Yeah, and how they offer this kind of roadmap for understanding things. But I wonder, for someone maybe used to philosophy text,
right?
Does a poem, with all its metaphor and, rhythm, does it actually deepen understanding? Or does it risk simplifying too much?
That's a really good question. I think the power of art, like poetry here, is that it kind of bypasses just the intellectual side.
Ah, okay.
It lets these profound ideas resonate more deeply, maybe more intuitively.
Makes them stick.
Yeah, exactly. Relatable, memorable. So this teaching uses these elegant metaphors, this rhythm.
Not just abstract theory.
Right. to explore core Buddhist principles. It invites you not just to understand, but to really contemplate.
Feel it, maybe.
In a way, yes. It shows how truth can land in ways that, well, really stay with you.
Okay, I'm sold. Let's jump in. Let's open this poetic map then.
Let's do it.
The very first lines, they really hit you. Things arise because of cause, not by chance, nor random laws.
So simple, yet so profound.
Deceptively simple, right? But I think, if we're honest, most of us kind of forget this day to day.
We act like things just happen sometimes.
Yeah, we forget how much this underpins, well, everything. It's not just some philosophical idea.
No, it's presented as a fundamental law.
A law of the universe.
Exactly. That line perfectly captures what's known in Buddhism as Itappajjayata. That conditionality. It's this universal law saying, basically, everything comes from something else.
No exceptions.
No exceptions. Every single occurrence stems from preceding causes. Nothing just pops into existence on its own.
Like cosmic dominoes.
That's a great way to put it. And the poem connects this right away to Patijjasamupabaht, dependent origination.
Which it says, explains the roots of all creation.
Exactly. That concept lays out the whole chain, the sequence of how things come into being. It shows nothing exists in isolation. It's all interconnected.
Wow. And the poem makes this so vivid, doesn't it? It says, from one comes two, from two comes more, and karma opens every door.
That ripple effect.
It's not just abstract. It feels like a living process. And if you think about your own actions, like even tiny choices, what you eat, how you reply to someone, you can see how they set up conditions for what happens next.
You're constantly planting seeds.
Right. You're not just living in your circumstances, you're actively creating them. And that line, karma opens every door.
Powerful image.
It really drives home the impact we have. It implies this deep responsibility, doesn't it?
For the conditions we find ourselves in and the ones we create for others, too.
Yeah. We're not just watching the movie.
We're co-directing it, in a sense.
Yeah.
Active co-creators in this whole web of cause and effect, always setting new chains in motion.
Okay, so we've got this foundation, cause and effect, ripples creating waves.
Check.
But then the poem kind of shifts gears. It asks, okay, if it's all ordered like this, why is there suffering?
The big question.
And it points right away to where grasp begins.
Ah, the grasping.
This is where it gets really interesting, I think. The poem says, the wheel turns on, the cycle spins, and suffering hides where grasp begins.
Right there, the starting point.
So what's driving this wheel, this cycle of suffering? What makes us grasp?
Well, the poem identifies avijja, ignorance, as the seed, the fundamental cause.
Ignorance. Okay, but ignorance of what? Like not knowing facts.
It's deeper than that. It's not just lacking information. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of reality itself.
Like wearing blinders.
Exactly. Thinking you see the whole picture, but you're missing crucial parts. And this ignorance, it drives the mind. It plants the need, as the poem says. It's the root condition keeping us stuck in this cycle of, well, rebirth, endless wandering, samsara.
And this ignorance builds the self, the mask, the name.
Yes, it constructs the sense of a fixed me and identity.
Which we then cling to.
Desperately, often without realizing how impermanent and constructed it actually is.
And that grasp, the poem highlights. It really clicks now.
How so?
It connects to that feeling of always chasing things. The poem says we chase illusions, loud and long, and wonder why things feel so wrong.
Chasing phantoms.
Yeah, like we're reaching for happiness or security out there. But if the root is this ignorance, if we're fundamentally misunderstanding things.
When you're grasping in the wrong direction.
Exactly. No wonder things feel so wrong sometimes. We're chasing things that can't ultimately satisfy because we don't see them clearly.
It's a profound point. The suffering isn't inherent in the thing itself, necessarily.
But in the grasping.
Yes.
Yeah.
The attachment, the clinging, which comes from that basic misunderstanding of how things truly are.
Okay, so then the poem introduces these three profound truths. Or marks.
The through marks of existence, yeah.
They really challenge how we usually see things. It says, impermanence anicca flows, and dukkha pain forever grows. Anatta no self to hold, yet still we cling, though truth is told.
Wow, yeah, powerfully put. They hit right at our core assumptions.
About stability, happiness, even who we think we are.
Absolutely. Let's take them one by one. First, anicca, impermanence.
Everything changes?
Everything, without exception. It all flows and fades, as the poem says.
Our thoughts, feelings, bodies.
Relationships, the world around us, it's all in flux. And the poem suggests that awakening involves seeing this, to see things change, to see things fade.
So fighting against change is fighting reality.
In a way, yes. It's a major source of our struggle.
Okay. Then there's dukkha, usually translated as suffering.
Right. But it's broader than just physical pain. Think of it as like a deep dissatisfaction, an unease.
A background hum of not quite right.
That's a good way to put it. And the poem says it forever grows. Why? Because we keep grasping at things that are impermanent, Annika.
Ah, the connection.
Exactly. We want permanent happiness from impermanent things. And the poem gives examples. Greed and anger, blind desire, fan the flames of inner fire.
Those are manifestations of dukkha.
Yes, they arise from resisting impermanence, from craving things to be different than they are, that feeling of, is this all there is, even when you get what you want?
Yeah.
That's dukkha.
Okay. And the third one, anatta, no self.
This one's often the trickiest, no self to hold.
What does that really mean? Does it mean we don't exist?
Not quite, nothing exists. It's more like there's no fixed, unchanging, independent me inside. No permanent soul or essence that stays the same.
So the self is more like a process.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
a constantly shifting pattern, not a solid thing, it's a dynamic. But the poem points out the paradox. Yet still we cling, though truth is told.
We build this identity and defend it fiercely.
We pour so much energy into it, even though if you look closely, it's always changing. It's more like a river than a rock.
Wow. Okay. So, let me get this straight. Reality is impermanent, Annika. Grasping at impermanent things leads to dissatisfaction, dukkha. And the self we cling to isn't fixed or solid anyway.
You've got it.
But our instincts, our conditioning, it pushes us to want permanence, lasting pleasure, a solid self.
Right. Our instincts often run counter to these truths.
It's like we're constantly trying to hold on to smoke or build a house on shifting sand.
That's the challenge, isn't it? It highlights this fundamental tension between how things are and how we wish they were, or how we perceive them to be.
It definitely makes you question things.
It really does. It sets up the need for a different way of seeing.
Which brings us to, is there a way out? If we're caught in this cycle, fueled by ignorance and grasping.
Is there an off-ramp?
Yeah. Thankfully, the poem offers one. It says, but vipassana, insight deep, can wake the mind from restless sleep.
Vipassana.
Insight.
So how does this insight work? How does it wake us up? What are we actually doing?
Vipassana, or insight meditation, is presented as the direct antidote to that ignorance, avijja.
Okay, the root cause.
Exactly. It's the practice aimed at cultivating wisdom to see things as they truly are.
Seeing things as they truly are, not just intellectually.
No, that's key. It's not about reading books about it, although that can help. It's about direct experiential wisdom.
Seeing for yourself.
Yes.
Right.
Through careful, mindful observation of your own experience, your thoughts, feelings, sensations, you start to see impermanence, dissatisfaction, and this no-self nature directly.
You see the three marks in action.
Precisely. You begin to see things change, to see things fade, to know the truth that's not man-made. You perceive reality without the usual filters of craving, aversion, and delusion.
Pulling back the curtain.
That's a good metaphor for it.
And the poem contrasts this insight, this clarity, with the worldly ways.
Yeah, it calls them so full of tricks, of games and masks, of clever mix.
Suggesting the way we normally operate is kind of illusory.
Often based on illusions or partial truths, yes. And the poem says, wisdom cuts through every lie.
That's such a strong image, piercing through deception.
It suggests insight isn't just passive knowing. It's an active cutting through the confusion that keeps us stuck.
So it encourages us to really train the mind and let it see.
Let it see what's actually there, not just what we wish was there or what our conditioning tells us is there.
Makes you wonder about all the masks we wear, like even online.
Yeah.
Maybe they add to the confusion.
Could be. Vipassana is about developing this clarity, this unvarnished perception, so you can engage with life as it is, not just based on wishes or fears.
Okay, so if we cultivate this insight, if we follow this path, what's the destination?
Where does it lead?
Yeah. The poem describes the outcome, and it sounds peaceful. Very different from worldly success.
Yes, it talks about the path beyond Lokuttara Dhamma.
Which is not of gold, nor fame, nor drama.
Exactly. Lokuttara Dhamma literally means the path beyond the worldly, the transcendent path.
Leading to?
To awakening, liberation, nibbana. And the poem describes this state as, it's peace that comes when clinging ends.
Ah, the end of grasping.
When mind no longer breaks or bends. It's freedom from that constant push and pull of desire and aversion.
Freedom from the cycle.
Yes, freedom from all grasp and pain. The poem calls it the greatest gift, the final gain.
So it's a state where the mind is stable, undisturbed.
Unshakable,
Exactly.
because it has seen through the illusions that used to cause agitation and suffering. It's the realization of true inner freedom.
And the imagery for this state is just,
Well, lovely.
when wisdom balloons, delusion dies.
And joy appears without disguise.
Without disguise. So it's not a fake happiness or a temporary high.
No, it's presented as an authentic, inherent quality that naturally emerges when the clouds of delusion and clinging clear away.
A genuine contentment.
Exactly. A deep well-being that isn't dependent on external conditions changing this way or that. It invites you to imagine that this kind of peace, this real joy, is actually possible, achievable.
Not just a nice idea, but a lived reality.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a journey just in this one poem,
Yeah.
The law of cause and flow.
It covers so much ground.
It really does. From understanding cause and effect, things arise because of cause,
That fundamental law.
to seeing how ignorance and grasping fuel suffering.
The cycle, yeah.
And then discovering this path of vipassana,
Okay.
deep insight,
As the way to cut through it.
leading ultimately to this state of liberation, this profound peace. It's quite a complete map.
It truly is. A guide from entanglement to freedom offered through poetry.
So, thinking about this whole journey, if ignorance is the root, as the poem suggests,
The fundamental cause of suffering.
and wisdom, seeing things clearly, leads to peace.
Then it really brings it back to us, doesn't it?
Yeah. It makes me think, and maybe this is something for you listening to consider.
A takeaway thought.
Yeah. What small, everyday assumptions,
Mhm.
or maybe blind spots,
Yeah.
could you start to notice in your own life?
Where might you be grasping without realizing it?
Right. What familiar thought patterns,
Hmm.
or maybe habitual reactions, could you just observe a little more closely?
Not to judge them, but just to see them.
Exactly. To maybe loosen that grip of clinging just a little bit.
And perhaps find a bit more ease, more stillness day to day.
It's like bringing that poetic wisdom off the page.
And into your actual life. Not just as a nice concept, but as something you can actively explore.
Absolutely. So we really encourage you to maybe revisit these words, the law of cause and flow.
Let them sink in.
Yeah, reflect on how these ancient ideas might resonate for you right now. It's a teaching that keeps unfolding, I think.
Definitely worth contemplating.